How do you build a world? Sometimes it doesn't take pages and pages of backstory. Sometimes all you really need is a title and just a handful of words. Today, we're going to look at how a really rich, compelling story can be built from the barest of bones. It's a fascinating little piece of micro storytelling. So, how do they do it? How is that even possible? Let's break this simple prompt down and see how every single word is a deliberate choice, creating a setting, a theme, and a team of characters completely from scratch. Think of it like we're looking at the blueprint for a story before a single brick is laid. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the world itself. The title alone, Day 900, Rebuilding Hope, does so much heavy lifting here. It gives us a time, a history, and a mission, all in one shot. Just think about that number, 900. This isn't day 1 or day 10, 900 days. That's almost 2.5 years. So right away, that single number tells us the big catastrophe, whatever it was, is long over. The chaos, the panic, the collapse of society, all of that's already in the rearview mirror. Our story actually begins long after the world already ended. This also signals a huge shift in what our characters are focused on. See, those first 899 days, that was all about survival. Just finding food, finding shelter, trying to stay alive. But day 900, that's a turning point. The mission isn't just to survive anymore. Now it's to rebuild. They're going from being reactive to being proactive. They're not just trying to get through the day, they're trying to build a future. And think about what they're rebuilding. It's not just buildings or machines, it's hope. And that tells us the real theme of the story. The physical stuff is just the outside reflection of a much deeper internal mission, to bring back a sense of purpose, a belief that things can actually get better. That's the real challenge. Of course, a mission this big, you can't do it alone. It requires a team. So who are the people tasked with this monumental job? Let's meet the rebuilders. First up, Emily Carter. She's not just any leader, she's a survival leader. That means her leadership was forged in the absolute worst of times. Her traits, resourceful and determined, tell us she's the one who finds a way when it seems like there is no way. She is the engine of this group, the one always pushing them forward. Next, we've got Mark Jensen, the tech expert. He's the guy who can get a generator running again, figure out how to purify water, maybe even get an old radio to work. But look at his traits, intelligent and cautious. His brain allows for all this innovation, but his caution makes sure they don't take stupid risks. He's the one thinking 3 steps ahead always. And finally, we have Sarah Lee. She's the medic, which is obviously a critical skill, but her other role, moral compass, is just as important, if not more so. In a world where you have to make impossible choices, she's the one making sure they don't lose their humanity in the process. Her compassion, mixed with bravery, makes her the soul of this team. So, we have the individuals, but the real genius here is how they fit together. They aren't just a random collection of skilled people. They form a complete, perfectly balanced unit. And this is where it all just clicks together. You've got the classic archetypes, the leader, the brains, and the heart. Using these familiar roles is like a powerful storytelling shortcut. Emily brings the action and direction. Mark brings the innovation and safety. And Sarah brings the humanity and healing. You absolutely cannot rebuild a society without all 3. You take one of them out of the equation, and the entire structure just collapses. So, we have the world, we have the team, and we have the theme. But what's so amazing about this whole setup is that after all of that, nothing has actually happened yet. This entire thing isn't the story, it's the start of the story. In just a few lines of text, we've been handed a perfect storytelling toolkit. We understand the stakes, we know the characters, and we're already invested in their mission. It's a masterclass in narrative efficiency, just setting the stage for who knows how many potential stories. And doesn't this just get your imagination going? Like, what is Emily's first big decision now that they're rebuilding instead of just surviving? What's the first problem Mark has to solve to make their new future secure? And maybe the biggest question of all? Who is the first person they meet that puts Sarah's compassion and the whole group's moral code to the test. The story is just sitting right there, waiting to be told. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We know their mission is to rebuild hope, but hope isn't a constant. It's fragile. It has to be tested before it can become strong. So with this world and with this perfectly balanced team, what do you think is the very first challenge that's going to truly put their newfound hope to the test?